Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, I'm going to be playing a few fights with a particular build, and then afterwards I'll talk a little bit about the build and give it a rating. For today's build, we're rocking with the highest possible armor percentage you can get in the game. So we have a cast iron helmet with 95% armor, heavy plate arms both right and left with 85% armor, iron greaves both right and left with 75% armor, and then the heavy lamellar armor with 85% armor. So this guy's going to be a total tank. You can see we have only 59.9 stamina regen, which is pretty brutal, but I should be kind of invincible, so let's see how it goes. All right. So with this build, I decided to use a two-hander. You can just, kind of use whatever two-hander you want, one of your favorite ones, because you really don't want to have a shield further impacting your stamina regeneration. 60% is low enough. If you add a shield to that, like any shield that's really worth using, you're probably going to get another minus 10 or 15%. So that's just going to be horrible, because then you have your weapon too. Usually almost always using a two-hander will be better for your stamina than using a shield and a one-hander. What you could do, if there's a one-hander you really like, you could just use that without a shield. You can see the damage I'm taking from these hits. That guy just hit me with an iron talus dako, which is a really good weapon. It's a really good weapon, and he hit me for 1.7 damage. So you can see the kind of damage I'm mitigating here. So you could use a one-handed weapon without a shield because your body's a shield. You don't really need one. For me though, personally, I feel like a lot of the best weapons in the game are two-handers. So if you're not using a shield, you might as well use a two-hander. So far, this is going really well. First fight, I've taken a few hits, not too many, but a few hits, and you can see I've barely taken any damage. So I don't know if I'm going to be quite invincible in this build. We'll see. Like, maybe if I do a 1v many and take a lot of hits, I'll still have to, kind of play properly. But so far, so good. Obviously, in a many versus many, you're not going to take really the brunt of the enemy attacks anyway. All right, so that's a good first fight. Let's see how the other ones go. So my cast iron helmet broke. That's annoying. That's the only problem with it, is that it only has 45 durability. Now, the other thing you could do, because there's actually another helmet in the game that has 95% armor, and that's the Iron Meridonian helmet. You could wear that instead, because it has better durability too. But okay, here we have a little 1v many. It's just two Hanian soldiers, but let's see how this goes. I could have taken that survive with 90% health bet too, because I like my chances with this armor. All right, so one of these guys has a Bardiche. The other one has, I don't know, is that a Myrodin Daka maybe? So the Bardiche can deal a lot of damage, so that'll be good. If that hits me, we'll see just how much damage I can mitigate with this armor. Because really, the most damage I can take is 25% to my legs. You see there, I think he hit my chest, and I took 7.7 damage, which is kind of crazy from a Bardiche. This guy just hit me for 1.9 damage, so yeah, I'm pretty safe here. Like I was saying, I can take 75% damage to my legs. Everything else is 15%, and my head's 5%. So if somebody hits me for 40 damage in the legs, I'm only taking 10 of it. I don't even have to go to the doctor here, because I took so little damage that just the healing after the fight was enough. So my chest durability is getting a little bit low, because it does get hit a lot. Good thing I have another one. I'm going to have to repair my Bardiche here, so we'll go with the heavy hammer instead. I'd say so far so good here on this build, because this isn't how I typically like to play. I typically would sacrifice a little bit of armor percentage for some more stamina regen, but straight up not taking damage from hits is pretty good. I might have to do this some more. In a 1v1 like that, I'd almost have to try to die. Even if I did try, I'm not sure if I would. All right, let me buy a second Bardiche. And another thing you see, like I've talked about it a little bit, my legs haven't even taken any hits here. They're both full durability. I haven't had to repair them. That's why leg armor isn't super important, but in a build like this where the whole thing is, as much armor as you can get, it is still good to have your legs armored, because you don't want to get caught by 50 damage to one of your legs all of a sudden. All right, here we have a 1v5. This should be a good test. 1v5 against some pretty high level competition. This should test not only just how much damage I can mitigate, but also how the stamina regeneration affects me, because in a 1v many period, however many guys it is, your stamina is really important, because you need to be able to move around, you need to be able to attack often enough. It's not all about negating damage. Taking a couple hits here, still a lot of health. And I'm on a professional aspirant here, but this would actually be really good too on like a former soldier who has more health. Then you'd kind of be the ultimate tank. Took a hit for 3.4 damage there from a two-handed sword. You do still want to like try to block and dodge a little bit, you know? You don't have to let them hit you just because you've got the armor. Not only will that extend your life, of course, but it also help you save your durability so you don't have to repair as often, or so you don't break something during the fight, right? Because if my helmet or really anything was to break here, I'd be in a little bit of trouble, because then all of a sudden this guy could go 50 damage to my head with his Faradaka, you know? So my stamina is getting a bit low here. I'm going to try to let it come back in a little bit. And you see I'm still just taking 3 damage, 4 damage from each hit. I've lost maybe a sixth of my health now. Still 4 guys to go, so I should be okay here, really. Nice hit on this guy's head, but he's still alive. Damn, I thought I was going to get him with that one. All right, teammate got him. Got this guy's leg, nice. And now with only 2 guys, I'm really not too worried here. 1.5 damage. He hit my head, so my helmet might be a bit low on durability. That guy's dead. Overall, though, I'd say this is going really well. I genuinely might run this kind of armor a lot more because it is really working out. You know, that 85% is no joke. If you're only taking 15% of the damage from a hit, that's really not too much most of the time. All right, let's finish this guy off. You know, taking like 3 and 4 damage from a hit and then dealing 36.5, that's a good recipe for success. All right, final test, 1v8, Grand Stadium. Let's see how this goes. Got a lot of dudes over here. Not too many big shields, which is nice, even though the Bardiche is great at dealing with those. And you still want to do everything you would do otherwise in a 1v many, you know, if you were wearing like normal armor or whatever. You want to try to keep not too many guys in front of you at one time, you know, try to stack them up so there are only actually 1 or 2 guys swinging at you. You don't want to just sit in the middle of them or anything. That would still be really bad. You want to pretty much always be backing up, just kind of kiting them around. You don't want anyone going off to your sides or getting behind you, although it's not as bad as usual because you are protected from all angles like this. Okay, I think that's the first hit I took. 5.6, that's not bad. 5.4 there. Got to keep dealing some damage myself. Every guy you take down in the 1v many is just going to make it so much easier. The only thing that I don't love right now is just how long I have to wait for my stamina to come back in. That's why I'm attacking so sparingly. Hopefully I can get this guy. 40 damage to the head right there. He's probably close to death. 4.9 damage. You see, I've definitely taken more damage here than I did last time. So I do have to get moving with some kills here because I won't live forever. There we go. Teammate got that guy. Use that statue a little bit to get some of them stuck. That's good. All right, there we go. There's another kill. So now I'm only dealing with 6. That's not too bad. See if I can get this guy with no helmet. Not quite. The other thing that could get a little bit awkward here is if my Bardiche breaks, because 8 guys is a lot. So it's probably taken some pretty good damage by this point. There we go. There's a nice little kill. So I'm at about just over half health right now. 5 more guys to go. There we go. That's a nice kill. Got a little double hit there, I think. Multi-hit weapons obviously are great for the 1v many. Another one. Health's getting a little bit low here, so I might start playing a little more safely. Maybe not. We'll see. All right, there we go. A couple quick kills, 43.3 damage from the Bardiche. Okay, now it's gonna break soon, but I think I'm gonna keep using it here. See if I can't just finish this one off before it does break. Stamina's low, health is low, so stamina's affected by that, obviously. So yeah, the stamina regen, obviously pretty brutal, but the thing about having all this armor is that it gives you the time to wait for your stamina to come back, because even if you take hits during that time, it's not for a lot of damage. So it actually works out pretty well. I just gotta finish this guy off. I got plenty of health here. I'm not even the slightest bit worried about that. And there we go. 1v8 done nice and easy, under 5 minutes. All right, so there you have it, the max armor build. I'd say overall that went really well. You aren't going to be quite invincible, but you'll be pretty darn close. I thought that the stamina regen was going to be a big issue too, but honestly, you don't notice it so much. First of all, with a weapon like the Bardiche that you only need to swing a few times to get a kill, but also because this build allows you to be really patient and wait for your stamina to come back. You can afford to just kind of sit there, and even if you take some hits, it doesn't really matter that much. I never felt panicked or like I had to rush with this build, you know? In terms of rating, I'd call this a 9 out of 10 because there's almost no weakness other than your armor possibly breaking and leaving you exposed, because then the stamina becomes a much bigger issue. Well, that's that for this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this build, if you have any ideas for future builds. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.